Today, we are dissecting a really dangerous property scam, one that actually uses the trees in your own yard as a weapon against you. We're going to break down the entire system of tree cutting fraud, from the psychological traps they set, all the way to the exact defense you need to protect your home and, of course, your wallet. So let's start with a statement that might seem a little backward at first. The biggest threat to your property probably isn't that old, rotting tree you've been keeping an eye on for years. Nope. It's the perfectly healthy one that a stranger on your doorstep suddenly declares is a ticking time bomb. You see, the real danger isn't the tree. It's the person manufacturing a crisis just to get your money. And this right here, this is the key to understanding this entire explainer. A chainsaw isn't just a tool for cutting wood. In the hands of a scammer, it is a powerful, high-pressure sales tactic. It's loud, it's intimidating, and it's presented as the only solution to a problem you didn't even know you had 5 minutes ago. This isn't about tree service, it's about selling fear. So, here's our game plan. First, we're gonna look at that sales pitch. Then we'll break down the scam itself piece by piece. After that, we'll get into the psychological tricks that make it so effective. From there, we'll build your defense protocol. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the one core principle you have to remember. Verify, don't panic. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the chainsaw sales pitch. This is all about their opening move, how a scammer can literally create a crisis out of thin air, a crisis that only they can solve, and they have to solve it right now. There's actually a professional term for what they're doing, and it's called fear-based prospecting. It's a cold, calculated strategy. See, they're not selling you a service, they're selling you panic. They look at your beautiful, mature trees not as assets to your property, but as opportunities to manufacture fear and close a deal on your doorstep. So, who are they looking for? Well, they have a pretty specific checklist. They look for properties with big, mature trees. They also act as storm chasers, showing up in neighborhoods right after bad weather when everyone's anxiety is already high. They often prey on elderly residents or really anyone who doesn't have expert tree knowledge, which, let's be honest, is most of us. They are exploiting something called information asymmetry. It's a fancy way of saying they know more about trees than you do, and they use that imbalance against you. Okay, let's move on to section 2. We've seen the sales pitch, so now let's get into the actual mechanics of the fraud. This is the anatomy of the ruse, the step-by-step process they use to turn that fear they just created into your cash. What you're looking at here is their entire operational playbook. It's a systematic 5-step process. First, they target and canvass for the right kind of property. Then comes the inspection ruse, where they conveniently discover a hazard that isn't real. Next is the hazard hook, where they put a ticking clock on that fake hazard. That leads to the extraction, where they get you to pay an upfront deposit. And it almost always ends with the incomplete exit, where they take your money and vanish. Let's dig into the most critical steps. Pay close attention, because this is the crucial moment. This is the visual inspection ruse. The scammer walks around your property using their expert eye to spot a problem. They might tap on a perfectly solid, healthy tree and tell you it sounds hollow. Right here, in this moment, is where the fictional danger is created and presented to you as a professional, expert diagnosis. So, after they create the problem, they have to create a deadline. This is the psychological choke point. It's not just a problem anymore, it's a problem they claim is going to happen tonight. They'll say something like, you know, if the wind picks up, that branch is going to be right in your bedroom. This ticking clock is designed specifically to push you out of logical thinking and into making a purely emotional decision. And here is where the manipulation flips. It pivots from being about your fear to being about their finances. They'll offer you a solution disguised as a special deal, maybe a neighborhood discount or a one-time price, because their crew is already in the area. But there's always a catch, isn't there? You have to pay an immediate cash deposit for equipment rental or fees. And just like that, the conversation is no longer about safety, it's a high-pressure sale. Now, to seal the deal before they vanish with your money, they engage in something called visual theater. They might start up a chainsaw and cut a few small, easy-to-reach branches to make it look like the work is starting. They'll have unmarked trucks and some equipment to create what you could call an aura of legitimacy. It is all a performance, a show, designed to make you feel comfortable enough to hand over that cash deposit, which is right before they disappear for good. Okay, so we've seen how the scam works, but now we have to explore why it's so incredibly effective. I mean, Why do smart, cautious people fall for this? That brings us right to Section 3, the psychological weaponry. The entire scam is built on this one powerful concept: safety scarcity. They manufacture the belief that your home, your sanctuary, is under an immediate and severe threat. This triggers a really primal, deep-seated instinct to protect your property at any cost, and it effectively short-circuits your entire rational thought process. And why do we believe them? Well, it's because of something called authority bias. When someone shows up with a truck, carrying tools, and starts using a bunch of technical jargon, our brain just takes a shortcut. It assumes they're credible. This contractor persona they put on allows them to bypass our normal, healthy skepticism. And finally, they exploit a really interesting flaw in our financial logic known as loss aversion. Your brain isn't really weighing the cost of tree removal. No, it's weighing the cost of a catastrophe, a $50,000 tree crashing through your roof. In that mindset, a $1,500 deposit doesn't feel like an expense. It feels like cheap insurance against a massive loss. They successfully reframe what is basically extortion as a smart, responsible financial move. So now that we've completely dissected their attack, let's build your defense. And this is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire explainer. Section 4, the Homeowner's Defense Protocol. This is how you go from being a target to being a fortress. So this is the key question, right? The whole scam is designed to keep you emotional, to keep you reactive. So how do you break that cycle? How do you switch from that gut reaction to a calm, tactical response that puts you back in control of the situation? Think of it like this. For every goal they have, you have an opposite goal. Their goal is to create urgency. Your goal is to create friction, to slow things down. They want to bypass your due diligence to get you to skip the questions. Your goal is to demand verification for everything. They want to force an immediate decision. Your goal is to delay that decision, to give your rational brain time to catch up and take over. So here it is. This is your non-negotiable defense protocol. 4 simple steps. 1, get a written contract. No verbal agreements ever, no exceptions. 2, demand to see a certificate of insurance, or COI. This is absolutely critical. 3, ask for their ISA arborist credential number and tell them you're going to look it up online right now. And 4, implement the next day decision rule. You never ever sign or pay for anything on the first visit. Of all those steps, these 2 right here are the absolute pillars of your defense. Why? Because they're the 2 things a scammer simply cannot fake. A real ISA credential can be verified in seconds on a national online database. And a valid certificate of insurance is the only thing protecting you if someone gets hurt on your property. A scammer will have a million excuses. A true professional will have the documents ready to go. And this brings us to our final section and really the core principle that ties this entire defense strategy together. Verify, don't panic. So let's recap the whole system. A tree-cutting scam is a fear-based extraction system. It uses technical jargon, or obscurity, and a false sense of urgency to bypass your normal home security due diligence. Its success relies entirely on exploiting your natural loss aversion and your brain's tendency to trust authority figures. And the core protective principle is simple. Legitimate arborists can always be verified through national databases and will always provide proof of insurance before any work begins. And that leaves us with this final, powerful mantra. The scammer wants you to focus on the alarm, the tree that's about to fall, the supposed danger. Your job is to ignore the alarm and verify the person who's sounding it. If they can't be verified and if they don't have insurance, they don't get the job. It really is that simple. Just remember this: nature moves slowly, but scammers move fast. If the emergency only appeared when the contractor did, then the only real danger is to your bank account.